Come and dream with me.
Hello, welcome to this What Do You Want to Watch discussion about the first day of Comic-Con 2022. I'm Ashley Hobley, joining me, Dylan Blight.
What's up, comic book nerds?
Can you believe that Comic-Con's back?
I cannot.
Like, for the first time like this since 2019.
On one news feed, I read COVID numbers rising, Australia fucked. On the other news feed, Comic-Con's back, baby!
they're all wearing masks, so I mean, that's...
Okay, they're all, it's fine. Okay.
Like, you know. Yeah. Thursday over there in America, Comic-Con. Bit of a quieter one, but we do have a couple of different stories to talk about, so let's just kick things off. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies. Sometimes those enemies come looking for revenge. Truth be told, we helped the wrong person steal the wrong thing. We didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known. But we're gonna fix it.
So how do we pull that off? Figure it out over a drink?
Probably best.
And of course, we couldn't talk about Dungeons and Dragons without our resident DM, Ciaran Marchant, joining us here on the podcast.
Hi, it's me. Avast, ye fellow adventurers from across the Forgotten Realms.
Yep. So, of course, this is the new film from Paramount, directed by Jonathan Goldstein and John Francis Daly, who people would probably know from writing Game Night. That's their big hit, I think. I don't know if they've actually directed much.
They know him as the dude from Bones.
Yeah, he's the dude. One of them's the dude from Bones. Yeah, I think. Oh no, they directed Game Night. Sorry, they didn't just write it. So, and they're also like involved in Homecoming and that kind of stuff. So, Spider-Man: Homecoming. But yes, this is adaptation of Dungeons and Dragons, starring Chris Pratt, Michelle Rodriguez, John Page, Justice Smith, Sophie Lillis, and Hugh Grant. Dylan, what did you think of the trailer for Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves?
I thought this looked surprisingly good. I was expecting this to look terrible, and I think the choice to have it feel more in line with, I don't know, a little bit like not super serious. Like, I mean, like they're not taking it as a joke. Like it's not a full on like Jack Black's in here like taking the piss out of the genre or something. But they're like the characters are a little bit more lively and they're a little bit more fun, and they're more like, I guess, how people would sometimes play these characters in campaigns, and not ultra serious or something like that. I think the cast is really interesting. I think there's a lot of like Easter eggs and stuff. I think seeing a mimic attack someone was fucking hilarious. I think there's a lot of really cool things in here. I'm surprised. I think this looks like it could be really good actually. So yeah, I'm going double thumbs up.
Cool. On our scale. Ciaran, you've been playing D&D forever. So what did you think of
Fucking over a decade now. Look, D&D has a treacherous past of movies, and they're all generally bad. It's look. Let's start with the positives that I had, which was it's definitely a D&D, or that they prove that it's D&D, or like that they're not just calling a random fantasy movie D&D, because they included a whole lot of iconic D&D monsters.
Like dragons.
You had your owlbears, your mimics, your dragons, hence the name Dungeons and Dragons, of course. And there was bards, and one was clearly a barbarian, and there was a half-elf, and cool. I don't know. There's something about D&D that... Yeah, this is going to sound really bad. I'd almost want a D&D movie to be shot like one of, like, I guess the movies that have been done where they're more improv than anything. Like, there's no hard to find script. There's more room for the actors to do whatever they want to capture the essence of D&D.
How do you know there wasn't some of that allowed on
No,
here?
this was very heavily scripted.
Okay.
This was everything that was said by characters and the moments and just all felt super scripted. I don't know about how I feel about Chris Pine playing a bard. I don't know if I loved it or not. Like, it was just a weird one. I don't know. Maybe I'm just pessimistic and jaded as just a D&D fan of just a lot of D&D properties beyond the board game and beyond Baldur's Gate have been fucking terrible. And it's something very close to my heart. I hope it captures the randomness and beautifulness and the chaotic mess that is D&D. I just, at the same time, feel like it's going to be overly Hollywood, and that it's not going to quite capture that same thing. And I don't know why, like, Michelle Rodriguez in this, she had the same energy as when she came out at the Video Game Awards to talk about the Fast and Furious game. I felt that again here, and I don't know, it just felt very out of place and very random. When I was like, oh, of course she's playing a barbarian. That makes sense. That's very fitting. I don't know. It's just, just one up, one down.
I liked it. I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. I think, it's cool to see, like, as someone who isn't necessarily, like, steeped into D&D, but as someone who's watched a lot of Critical Role, so understand a lot of the elements and, like, a lot of the creatures and that kind of stuff from being adjacent to it. That was really cool. You see, like, IGN's got an article up with, like, the different things. They've got the full-on Underdark at one point. Of course, they got the Mimic, like Dylan said. They've got a Displace...
Owlbear!
Yeah. They've got an Owlbear, which the person in this article is like, hey, they wouldn't be able to, like, polymorph it. They wouldn't be able to wild shape.
No. I legit had that same thought. I legit watched and I'm like, what level are these characters?
How's she turning into...
These characters must be, like...
No.
A higher level owlbear? Like, that's impressive almost.
No, the wizard must have, like, done polymorph on her, so she's able
polymorphed
to...
it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it looks really good, They've got the full cast of, like, full band of adventurers of different classes. Yeah, I think it looks surprisingly good. Some of the action looks pretty solid. Like, Michelle Rodriguez throwing those dudes around all over the place. Hugh Grant's playing the villain, and he's been pretty successful at playing villains, right?
He actually has been. It's not a joke. Started at Paddington, then he moved on to The Gentleman.
Yeah.
And then then there's something else, or he's about to do something else. I can't remember. Anyway, Paddington.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. On the back of Paddington, you can get so many different things, but yes.
It's one of the greatest movies of all time. Nicolas Cage loves it. What?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I like it. It's surprisingly fun tone. I don't think you could do, like, a super improv version of D&D. Like, as much as the actual game of D&D is, like, innovative and, like, that, a lot of the lore is very much, set and scripted and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it looks like it'll be a good time. So this is coming to cinemas March next year. Thanks, Ciaran, for sticking around to talk about Dungeons & Dragons.
Goodbye, I'll see you in 12 months.
Night, no!
Also, technically not part of Comic-Con, but it's been announced as it's released as a Comic-Con trailer. Newest trailer for Game of Thrones House of the Dragon released.
The dream. It was clearer than a memory. And I heard the sound of thundering hooves, splintering shields and ringing swords. And I placed my heir upon the Iron Throne. And all the dragons roared as one.
I consider the matter urgent. That of your succession.
Who else would have a claim?
The firstborn child.
Rhaenyra. No queen has ever sat the Iron Throne.
The king has an heir, Daemon Targaryen.
I will not be made to choose between my brother and my daughter.
Of course, this is the new series taking place well before the events of the series that we all know and love, revolving around House Targaryen. Dylan, what do you think of the latest trailer?
I thought this trailer was an absolute banger. I'm super keen now. Has there been a teaser or something before? Right? Just
There's been a few other trailers and that kind of stuff, but
nothing that I can recall like tickling my fancy. Like I knew I was going to watch it, but nothing that I watched and went like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go. But watching this one, seeing the amount of dragons, seeing the dragons actually look good, seeing the dragons have enough variety to the design that I could actually, even amongst the trailer, tell a few of them apart. Seeing a lot of the drama like between this house itself, which is the driving force of like the story and what's happening here, and like the behind the scenes politics and the stabbing in the back, which is everything sort of loved about Game of Thrones. I think this looks really, really good, and I think that this has the potential to be a return to form for everything I loved about Game of Thrones in those first 75% of the show, I guess. And hopefully they don't just jump the shark and do some things that they chose to do in the other season. But I'm going double thumbs up for this one.
Yeah, I'm 2 thumbs up as well. I think this, where the other ones have been like playing off the tone of Game of Thrones and like the visuals of Game of Thrones, this one kind of delved more into what the actual show is going to be about. So it is very much about the succession. What's going to happen with the crown? You've got Rhaenyra Targaryen, the king's firstborn child, as a daughter played by Emma Darcy, who I guess would technically be first in line, but she's a woman, so of course not. And then you've got Matt Smith playing Daemon Targaryen, who's the king's younger brother and would be technically the first one in line because he is a man. But there seems to be political games going around about which of these two people is going to take the Iron Throne when the king dies at some point.
And we all know how this goes.
We all know how this goes. He'll be dead by the end of the season. But yeah, like the whole political elements, like scheming behind the scenes, very much evoking the first couple of seasons of Game of Thrones before it turned into, hey, we need to fight the Night King and his army.
Let's teleport across the map.
Yeah, let's teleport over the place. Yeah, I think it looks great. I'm excited to see this cast. I'm a big Olivia Cook fan, so she's in a lot.
I didn't know she was in it. I was watching the trailer. I was like, is that Olivia Cook? And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't actually remember her being cast, but there you go. So.
Yeah, it's surprising because she is playing a Targaryen, I guess, because, super blonde or white-haired. Matt Smith looked great. Yeah, I'm really keen for this. So yeah, if you didn't know, we're bringing back our Game of Thrones podcast, South of King's Landing. We're doing after shows for every episode of House of the Dragon. When does the first episode? We'll be doing a preview episode, right?
Yeah, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Open a tab where I've got the calendar open. It starts September. September? Yeah. No, August. August. What the fuck? Does it? Really? Have I got this wrong?
It starts August 21st.
Oh my fucking god! Yeah, so I was about to say I've got this wrong, but no. So it's right.
August 22nd here in Australia.
So Monday the 15th, the first episode of South of King's Landing is going to drop. We'll just do a little bit of a pre-discussion sort of thing, similar to what we're doing now, but a little bit more extended and stuff. And then each week after that for every episode of the show, me and us, you and I, Ash, again discussing the show.
Very exciting because it's been a while.
I'm glad that podcast title, it still works, It's still fine.
Yeah, thank God.
King's Landing's
still the center of the universe.
It's still center of the universe, so it doesn't, it's a good title.
I think they're in King's Landing. I don't know.
Yeah, they're still in King's Landing. I mean, it's Iron Throne, King's Landing.
Awesome.
I don't know if they call it King's Landing. I don't know if it ever got renamed, but I mean, whatever, it's fine.
Because it was a Targaryen, home base or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
either way, it's the same podcast for you. We're not changing the title.
All right. Few other different bits and pieces throughout the day. Was there anything that really stood out to you other than those two?
There was a story about Severance that I found quite funny. Did you see that one?
Yeah, not particularly. There was a lot of they obviously had a panel. They didn't specifically talk about, It was a lot about making the show and like that kind of stuff. There was some audience questions, but they weren't answering many questions about
No. But it just got me
happening.
hyped because they were saying like you haven't seen nothing yet. There's so much to come, and then they were saying about how they're trying to stay off Reddit because like he was saying like there was a funny comment. It was like sometimes people on Reddit have better ideas than you. And he's like, so
It's like, God damn it.
yeah. So, but they said the next season's going to be like really different, and yeah, you won't see what's happening. So obviously we're big fans of Severance, and yeah, all that sounds really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, cool to see them all getting the love for the show. Like, I'm sure this is the first time they've seen fans, talking about just
feeling the
in
love.
person, feeling the love. Teen Wolf had a panel, but you know the big thing that came out of that is they're doing a spin-off show called Wolfpack, and Sarah Michelle Gellar is set to star, and she showed up at the panel. I think maybe the first time she's shown up at Comic-Con, like, since it became Comic-Con, like, which is crazy to think that she's obviously the star of Buffy.
No, I don't think so. No, I can't. Actually, no, I'm not sure. Don't know.
Yeah. Two good news stories for me out of this week. Abbott Elementary confirms for a full 22 episodes second season. The first season's only 13 episodes, so, you know, that's cool that we're going to get more episodes of that. Sorry?
Are they 20-minute episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, holy fuck. That's a long ass. An hour.
But yeah, 22 is like pretty much the standard for network television. So that would put it in line with a lot of the other, like your Modern Families, your Big Bang Theories, and that kind of stuff. Young Sheldon, which I guess is probably the big show at
the classics.
It's the number one sitcom. I don't know. But yeah, that's exciting. And then Wheel of Time has already been confirmed for a season 3. So, you know, you can stay invested in Wheel of Time knowing they'll at least go 3 years. So yeah, that's cool. They had a panel for Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which is a interesting character within the Marvel pantheon. The show had like a small clip, which, you know, Moon Girl is trying to stop some robbers, and it does not go well. While getting filmed. It
looks like Teen Titan Go, but Marvel.
It does, but like with a bit more plot.
It's a little bit different,
more serialized,
but like,
yeah.
Yeah, but that's the closest comparison I could think of, which is fine because it's targeted at kids. But
yeah,
and I'm not saying that's a bad thing because Teen Titans Go is good. So this looks good to me as well, based off that one clip. But
yeah, absolutely. They also had a panel for Koala Man, which is a new Hulu series coming out. Starring, it's got Hugh Jackman in it, but where did I put that article? Hugh Jackman plays
a koala.
No.
Oh.
So Koala Man follows a middle-aged dad called Kevin and his titular not-so-secret identity, whose only superpower is a burning passion for following rules and stuffing out petty crime in the town of Dapto. Although it may seem like any other Australian suburb, forces of evil, both cosmic and man-made, lie in wait to pounce on unsuspected Daptonians on a quest to clean up his hometown and often roping in his frustrated family into his adventures. Koala Man stands at the ready. He'll do whatever it takes to defeat villainous masterminds, supernatural horrors, or worse, jerks who don't take the rubbish bins down on the proper days. So this comes from Aussie creator and animator Michael Cusack, who's also going to voice the main character. This was actually part of a pilot program on the ABC 4 years ago.
So it's animated, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's an animated show. Yeah, I've watched a clip before this. It seems like it's very different. That is very crude animation. This is more in the style of what you see on these type of shows.
This is the dude who did Siggy Buttbrain Dude and everything.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so he's teamed up with Justin Roiland and some other executives over in America, after he did a segment on one of the Rick and Morty episodes.
Sorry, I found it.
Okay.
So if anyone hasn't seen this, somehow if they haven't seen it. So I've watched these countless times. Anytime they come up in my YouTube recommendations, I just watch them again. So on his YouTube channel, he did a bunch of series about these two Darrow bogan Australian dudes called Damo and Darren, And there's like a Centrelink episode. There's like a skate park episode. The one I was talking about before is just called Siggy Butt Brain episode. Where he's like, "Give me a fucking lighter, man. Need a fucking light." Like it's the most like. But if you're it's definitely the kind of thing that if you're Australian, you'll laugh at. I laugh every time.
Okay, that's interesting because those two characters are in that clip that I watched from the ABC.
Okay, I went from not interested to totally down for this because
I think it's definitely not going to keep this tone, but it's from the same person. So I mean, that's cool.
There's like the Centrelink episode's so good. He does the whole thing. He's like, "My wife's pregnant. She doesn't have any money. Oh, I can't." And the lady's like, "I feel so sorry for your damo." He's like, "Thank you. I just need to be able to afford to buy my children some clothes." Walks outside. He's like, "Let's fucking go to the pub." Like, it's like
So Hugh Jackman is voicing his boss, while Sarah Snook from Succession is voicing his wife. So Australians representing over in America. So
I mean, I'm down. I really like those YouTube videos. I'm down. I'm keen.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about this, so I'm learning on the show.
Yeah, I think that might be kind of all.
I can't believe that was at Comic-Con. What the fuck?
I mean, day one is pretty quiet. It's like pretty broad.
Who we got coming? What's the rollout?
There's a
we
National Treasure panel in which they like talked about the new cast and like showed a small teaser.
Harvey Keitel's coming back.
Yes, that's true. Harvey Keitel is coming back.
Yeah, he's not dead. Everyone, it's fine.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah, I was actually surprised.
Tomorrow they've got Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power.
Let's fucking go. Listen to our new podcast, everyone.
I didn't really want to make this super cross promotional, but yes, go check out our new podcast, The Lord of the Rings Extended. You find it over at explosionnetwork.com, where we watched all the Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson films in the lead up to this new series, and we'll then do after shows for each episode.
Yes. So there will be upcoming weeks where on Mondays you'll have South of King's Landing, we're talking about Game of Thrones, and Fridays you'll be listening to our Lord of the Rings podcast, Lord of the Rings Extended, where we're talking about Rings of Power. So there's a lot of fantasy. I'm going to be dreaming about horses, elves, dragons, man. I'm going to be waking up in the morning going, "Yeah, workmates, what's up?"
I mean, fantasy is all the rage down here.
It's true.
There's also going to be a Marvel Studios animation panel in which we assume we'll be seeing What If Season 2 footage, Marvel Zombies footage, and potentially X-Men 97 footage. So that's exciting. There's also Tales of Walking Dead and The Walking Dead panels, which they've put a lot of money into this.
They're massive. I don't care.
Yeah. They've put a lot of money. If you look at all the like buildings and stuff, there's so much Walking Dead. Like,
it's still big.
Signage.
But for me, when I read that final comic issue, that's when Walking Dead ended for me.
I think that's all the big ones. I thought there was more. Let me just double check.
I mean, there's always surprises, right? I don't know. People just drop trailers too, though. They don't even have panels, so who knows?
That's true. I thought there was more highlights. Hang on. Yep. I can't find another list, so yeah, let's just end it there. There's going to be a lot of exciting stuff. I thought there was a Warner Brothers panel tomorrow.
I thought there was more too, but that's fine. I mean, we'll record. Let's record.
We'll be recording again tomorrow.
We'll record tomorrow, and we'll record next day. I don't know, so it's fine. We'll cover every day. Do you work tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm working tomorrow, so we'll catch up tomorrow night. So yeah,
okay.
Thank you very much for listening. Of course, if you want to share any of your thoughts about Comic-Con so far, what are your predictions? Is Henry Cavill going to show up, which is everybody's predicting? Let us know on Twitter by going to explosion.com/Twitter or jump into Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to us out here at What Do You Want to Watch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, or tell people about the show. Leave 5 stars. Anywhere you can leave 5 stars. And if you like what we do here and think it's worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, keep watching stuff, I guess.